Good evening, everybody. If you on, come on and jump on in. We just finished our first virtual USAC experience. This is USAC, and this is the week of USAC, and we're excited. It's a little different this year, different than what we normally do. However, we're just going with the flow, and we had an awesome night tonight with our musical presentation from Jabari Johnson. Those of you who missed the live tonight, I encourage you to go back and catch it. Like tonight was an awesome night. I see you are coming in. Let's see. So, what did y'all think about tonight? Those of you that are joining tonight, what were your thoughts? What were your thoughts about tonight? Did you enjoy the concert with Jabari Johnson? I was trying to get somebody on tonight to talk about the experience. Did you enjoy the concert, the worship experience? This is our first time doing something of this magnitude virtually, but I think we had an awesome time. This was a great experience. If you missed it, I encourage you to go and watch the live tonight from the experience. I see those of you who are joining. What are your thoughts on tonight's live? Go ahead and put it in the comments. Derek, I'm trying to get you on. I don't know what's going on. It's not letting me bring you on. But what were your thoughts about tonight's musical? Jabari Johnson, he's been here to the Lake Charles area before, of course, with the Pipers for their conference that they have every year. But tonight was a different experience. We started off one way and ended up shifting to another place. And so, I mean, God really blessed us tonight for this virtual experience. And hold on, let's see if we can get little Derek on. But tonight was nothing short of amazing. You literally could feel the presence of God through the computer there. So I can just imagine what this experience would be like face to face in a personal setting. So we're excited about it. Those of you know that due to the COVID-19 pandemic, of course, all of our in-person meetings and convocations have been D.
I'm good. What's up, man?
Not too much. What's going on?
Oh, nothing.
So
Nothing at all.
I was just sharing with everybody. Of course, with the pandemic and everything, of course, our convocation has been canceled for this year, in person, that is. And so you know that tonight, um, like we hadn't already started laying the groundwork for this John P. Key concert. I mean, people was coming from all over to witness this. But it's still gonna be good. He'll be coming up in 2021. But
Right.
tonight we had Jabari, one of your homeboys. What you thought about tonight?
Man, it was good. It was great. It was more than good. It was definitely I think like Ryan had said earlier, it's a different element that we're entering into as far as our worship and our experiences with God. And I think that it was a moment. I know for myself, I know me and my mama, we was in here halfway crying because just to know that God
Cassie.
is still. Oh, I don't know what she might have been in her room now, but just to know that we still have a God that allows us to come to Him in spite of what's going on, in spite of um, us being out of our routine of coming together and joining in the sanctuary. We could still enter into His presence. And so it was good. It was great. It was great.
It was, I mean, just I don't know if you could actually feel when the shift took place. Like
Yeah.
it just like we shifted. There was an immediate shift that happened.
Mm,
Um, like we went. Of course, everything is basically scripted out of what we do and how we're gonna talk and
yeah.
go. But like in the midst of all of that, like it just a shift took place tonight, where he just
Yeah.
basically jumped in his flow, and flowed. So what was that like for you?
Man, it's God, man. You know, and when somebody is willing, when somebody is a willing vessel and has a heart. I know me and you talked about this a while back. Has a heart for the presence of God. It's
Yeah,
easy to shift into what God because you're not even. It's almost to a place to where you're already living in in a place to where His presence is common to you. You know, at a certain extent, it's like I'm so used to being in His presence from my own relationship. As soon as my mouth begins to utter words, the atmosphere has no choice but to shift. It has
yeah,
no choice but to change. Things have no choice but to be broken, and that's just. And I think Jabari has a heart for God's presence. He has a heart, and even in hearing his testimony about how he wrote "Have Your Way," it goes to show you that even in your darkest time, even in your worst time, like he was about to give his life up, he was about to take his life,
yeah,
but even in those moments, it's like God can still take you through those things and use those situations. That's now faith, not in just saying that it's a hit song, but actually telling God, somebody called my mom and was still singing a song,
yeah.
because it rings to your heart, it rings to your spirit, man. And I think that that's something that I really took out of the experience tonight.
Yeah. It's important, and I mean, like we were having a conversation the other day, talking about basically living what you sing about.
Yeah,
Even after all the cameras, after everything is going place, do you still have a relationship with God? Can you still tap into the presence? And we know, like, basically, he serves at one of the largest churches. I mean, he's at the Potter's house. So, I mean, even with
right.
um, going from singing to thousands of people, um, on a weekly basis, to basically just you and God, and a team of people,
Yeah,
can you still tap into the presence of God? And so that's
yeah,
basically where it starts, like you said, with that personal relationship with Him and all that
yeah,
other kind of stuff. So I mean that's good. Anything? What else you got
yeah.
to add?
Well, just what you were saying, um, and I know, like you said, me and you had talked about that the other day. But it's just in the time that we're in right now, it's very important for us to have a relationship outside of what we consider to be church.
Right.
We're not able to go to the buildings, and now we're doing it to where everything is kind of programmed to where we're set. But if you allow the lights and the cameras and the go and the action, and we're allowed, if you allow that to only be the time that you can say you enter into the presence of God, and then you turn the cameras up like you said, and our lives are not, and especially for us as worship leaders, as musicians, our life should be a life full of worship. That's for any believer, but
Hmm.
especially for us that are singing, that are ushering in the spirit of God with what we play. We have to let our life be lined up with the will of God and with the lifestyle that He desires us to live. Because I really believe that if we do that, like I told you the other day, man, we haven't even seen the surface. Like, we're scratching the surface of the presence of God. Like,
Yeah.
I can just imagine if we would all just get out of our ways and get out of our comfort zone and actually live this thing. Man, I believe that when we walk in the buildings, from when we begin to worship in our own cars and we go into our jobs or go into our whatever we're doing, sickness has to be dried up, cancer has to be delivered, coronavirus has to leave.
Yeah.
I work at a surgical center, and I do the bare minimum job, what seems to be the lesser job. But I think to myself and I say, well, Lord, if I bring your presence with me and you're with me, any sickness that comes in here has to be delivered. Any type of coughing, anything. And I don't care if you have allergies, it has to go because in the presence of God, the Bible says in his presence is fullness of joy.
Sure.
Well, if I'm sick, I'm not joyous. I'm not happy if I'm sick.
Right.
So anything that kicks me from being having fullness of joy when I'm in his presence, everything that stops me from being fullness or having fullness of joy has to be eliminated. And that's the place we have to live from is continuous because then the Bible also says that he'll keep us in perfect peace.
Yes.
Right? So if we're automatically staying in a place to where we can hear him, well, no matter how worse it gets in the world, because the world is going to be the world, it's going to get worse. But as people of God, we're supposed to be the ones who have peace. We're supposed to be the ones, and especially for us that are leadership and we're bringing other people into the presence of God. It's a sad thing when we can bring somebody else into the presence of God, but we have no time to bring our own self into the presence of God.
Right. And
That's like
how
we only
effective can you be trying to lead somebody else to a place that you've never been?
right. That's like the word says, the blind lead the blind. Where do we go
Right.
fall in? They go end up in the ditch.
Right.
So we have to continuously to stay, because I think that this is a very critical moment. And I ain't trying to be all deep and all other stuff, but this is a very critical moment to do a self evaluation, man.
Yeah.
Especially as leadership, and even from tonight, as we seen how easy it was for us to shift into the presence of God and to shift because I believe chains were broken. I believe
Oh,
people came out
definitely.
of depression tonight.
Yes,
I
sir.
believe I believe deliverance took place. Even if you're not spitting up on the ground in your mind, deliverance takes place because now you receive what God has.
Right.
And so I think that that's just something that I could say a lot, but I digress.
Oh yeah. No, no doubt. You good. You done jumped in you done tapped in.
Man,
But that's good. But I just going through seeing the different individuals that joined us tonight on the live just to get your thoughts and see what you experienced from this virtual um, platform as I was stating at the beginning. We're going to be here all week, so we're lining it out tonight. um, it was just the beginning, so if tonight was any indication of what the rest of the week is going to be,
yeah,
I'm
buddy,
excited about it. And so
yeah,
this is going to be awesome. Looking forward to a great time of this virtual experience. I know a lot of time and effort has gone into this, so it's going to be good. Nothing short. My expectation is high, and so even through the
yeah,
virtual experience, yes, I'm disappointed because I missed the gathering of the people. But
right,
nevertheless, this has given us a moment and an opportunity to spend that one-on-one time with him, and like you said, still
hmm,
tap into his presence. And
yeah,
we don't need a whole somebody to pump and prime you. So just like tonight,
yeah. Them
it
days
went from
over.
oh yeah, so
Yeah, them
definitely.
days.
But appreciate you, Lil D. I ain't gonna
Oh yeah.
hold you too
Hey,
long.
look, I'm gonna tell you this. When that boy Jabari said he came to Cameron, I remember that stuff as clear as day.
Ah.
Lord have mercy, man. Them boys used to have them big quartet suits on. Boy, that stuff
Yeah,
used to be hilarious, boy.
yeah.
But it was good. It was good.
That's what's up. That's what's
So,
up. Well, I ain't gonna hold you, but we'll catch you throughout the rest of the week. We might jump on and be doing some lives here and there. So, all right, stay
all right,
tuned. All right.
all right.
But everybody, yes, welcome to USAC Convocation 2020, the virtual experience. Tonight was just a precursor of um, of of what's going to take place throughout the rest of the week. So we're excited about what's going on here in our jurisdiction tonight. If you missed it, we had an awesome time with uh, Jabari Johnson, all the way from Dallas, Texas. We also had a special moment with Pastor John P. Key. So if you missed it, I encourage you to go back and watch the live from tonight or tonight. And I'm telling you, you are going to be blessed. I was trying to get um, Ryan on to talk about his experience. I know Ryan has done a lot of work um, with Jabari, and it was because of him that that tonight took place. So once again, kudos to um, Minister Ryan Piper for the connection. We had an awesome time. Thank you, elect lady Narcisse. Yes, we had a wonderful time tonight. It was great. Um, Wonderful experience. Yeah, Ken, those big suits. That's what he was talking about. They came all the way to Cameron with those big suits on. So, but you know how they do when that's the standard quartet outfit. If you ain't Ryan, what's up,
What's up, Big Tom? How's it going, man?
man? Look, what happened today?
Hey, man, look, everything
Wait,
happened.
where you
Look,
at?
man, I am in the store again. Hey, I really love you, man. 'Cause look, let me tell you something. I was gone, and me and the wife was about to go ride around this brand new car. Oh my God, this car that we got today. And when you texted me, I said, man, we got to turn around. She said, what? I said, yeah, we got to turn around. We got to turn around. Will want me to get on real quick. So I said, let me hurry up and get back over here and chill with you, man, and just talk about whatever you want to talk about. But yeah, it was off the chain. I was in here
Man,
worshiping.
like, okay, like we started off with this conversation, and I mean, of course, I had all my little questions scripted out. I'm gonna ask this, I'm gonna ask that. But like it's like I was talking with Derek, like a shift took place. Like
Yeah,
it it just shifted. Like, so what was the night like for you? What Talk
it
about your
was.
experience tonight.
I think you know what did it for me. I never heard the test.
You freezing up over there, Ryan. I think we lost him. So we'll get him back in just a second. But basically, I think he was stating that Crystal, tell Ryan to get back on. We lost him. There was a sudden shift that took place. So if you missed the testimony that he shared tonight, basically on how those songs were birthed. Man, I encourage you to go back and watch the live. We're gonna get Ryan back on in just a second. Once he get some reception there, we'll add him back. Okay, here he is.
Man, my fault, man. My fault. My fault. Tried to be fancy, man, with these little AirPods. I opened it up. That joke was saying, cut off.
Yeah, no. So you were talking about um you actually didn't get a chance to hear his testimony
Yeah, so
before.
I believe that's where it shifted at, man. It's whenever he gave the testimony to have your way. And I've never heard it, Yeah, before he actually
Yeah.
sung it. And I never really heard it. And so when he did that, I looked at Crystal in here and she was like, oh, that testimony changes everything. And I think that's what it's almost like one of them little lighters, like
Oh yeah.
he
Oh
lit the
yeah.
candle
Oh
with that.
yeah.
And then after that, man, it was just like, and I was in here. I was like, man, we could have just stayed right there. We didn't, I mean, we didn't have to do nothing else, man. We just let them go. But it is what it
Nothing
is,
else.
But it was
Yeah.
good though. Yeah, it was good, man. It was real
Man.
good.
So I mean, like we were talking with Derek. Um,
Mhm.
we're used to fellowshipping, on Sundays, having the crowds, having the cameras, all of this other kind
Yeah,
of stuff. But now we're in a place, I mean, we're virtual, or just going
yeah.
in with a skeleton crew. Um, like how has it changed even for you, um, going from that on a Sunday morning to our normal, from a normal experience to where we are now? Like, how has it changed your um, access to the presence, so say,
Yeah. Oh, that's a good question, by the way.
for lack of better
Jeez.
words?
Yeah, that's a good question though. I mean, I tell people what it has done for me. I will say that I love gathering, of course, we all do, you know. But what it has done me, I think I said it earlier on the video, man. It allowed me to really build my relationship with him for whatever's next.
Yeah,
You get what I'm saying? Because there's going to be a moment where we don't know what it looks like of the ending of this whole big pandemic, stay in the house, mask thing. But I believe these moments are preparing me or preparing us to for what's next. You know, so it actually drew me closer to him. You
hmm,
know, and I've seen people close to me has passed away. People that close to me have gotten the virus and all these different kind of things. But in this moment of having to go virtually, of course, a lot of people church hopping, no shade, but you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
but what it did allow me to do though, man, it allowed me to draw closer to him to prepare me for what's next. I don't want to come out of this and I'm still the Ryan that was before I went in it.
and
You
doing the
know what I'm
same
saying?
thing. Yeah,
Right. I want to, and I believe it awakened the creativity in us, the creative side of our lives. That God is a creator, we made in His image, so I believe we're creators too. So I believe it opened up, you know, President Clemens, you know, your creative skill.
yeah, yeah,
You know what I'm saying? A lot. So that's two things that I say that this moment of actually being quarantined, stuff like that, has really blessed, you know, really blessed me. And God has been faithful in it, man. Even with business and all these other things, man, God has just been so faithful in it, you know. And I know some people lost people, but it's like, you know, like Jabari said earlier, that, you know, he said he'll never leave us nor forsake
yeah,
us.
yeah,
You know, rather what it is, you know what I'm
right.
saying? I don't think this is a surprise to God, but I do believe that he'll never leave us nor forsake us,
Yeah,
man.
I totally agree with that. And as you stated, this moment of um, shut in or quarantine or whatever we want to
Yeah,
call
what do
it,
you want to call
yeah,
it?
has definitely um, awakened the creativity for a lot of
Wow.
people.
Yes.
Even, people that basically, aren't tech savvy or all of this other kind
Yeah.
of stuff, or I mean, even for pastors, even for musicians, or even us, doing what we do now, having to shift and get creative in what we're doing.
Yeah.
Now you're seeing virtual choirs. We laugh. We have a
Yeah.
joke for it. We call it the Hollywood Squares. Where the squares are
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, just to be able to continue to keep the ministry
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
through this time. I mean, because the ministry doesn't stop.
Yeah.
We have to keep going and doing and engaging our people and all of this kind of stuff. So I agree with
So
you
good.
wholeheartedly that this has um, allowed us to tap into some either things that were lying dormant,
Yeah.
or
That's
to
good.
or to
That's
find
good.
some new ways of creativity to do some different things. So I mean, I'm excited. I mean, even in this season of shut in, how we're able to still continue to do ministry and do all of those different things. So I appreciate
Yeah.
you once again, for even for the connection tonight. Like tonight was awesome. I can't
Yeah.
wait to basically get back together. I know if his ministry was as powerful through a computer,
Yeah.
I can only
Yeah.
imagine um,
Definitely.
what it is face to face.
Yeah.
Um,
And
I
we
just
actually was, and what's crazy, we actually was at that live recording that he had.
really,
Me and Crystal actually traveled all the way to Dallas to go to that live recording. And when he said, look, here's the crazy thing. When he said that he was about to let y'all hear that hymn, I was like, he just messed up. I had it in my head, like, I can't believe that he just did that. You guys got exclusive stuff. And I thought that was so cool. Look, I
yeah,
wanted to text you, but you was on the screen. I was like, you can't get this nowhere else right now. Like you gotta be like, come on now. Ain't no way. You know what I'm saying? And then it's a hymn that he created. I was like, oh, perfect one. Doesn't get no better
yeah,
than that,
yeah.
man. Come on, man.
Yeah. So I mean, this was definitely exciting. I got my shirt in time. I didn't think I was gonna be able to wear my shirt. I then started
If
ironing another
only,
one.
if only you knew.
I
Hey, the place
said,
was
you know
closing at
what?
4. We got there at 3:59. They was about to lock the door up. Hey, you got that shirt on though.
I got my shirt on. In the ninth hour, I said I'm gonna go in here and I was going to put a suit on. I told her, I said, you know what, it's musical
Oh
night. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go put my suit on and bust up here. And then Crystal was like, hey, let's link up, and so we did it. So thanks again, Crystal. For those of you that do not know or might know. Ryan's wife, Crystal, has a is an entrepreneur in her own right. She's a photographer. She is a custom designer.
Videographer,
So I mean,
everything,
hey,
man.
video. Yeah, she does a little bit of it all. So tonight, I'm graced to be wearing one of the new um,
Yep,
sayings, I
definitely
guess
is.
I would say. Is Crystal there with you?
She is. She probably watching. She's gonna have to come in. She's watching it, so she's
Oh,
over
okay.
there now.
Well, so this is
Uh,
my shirt for such a time as this. So this is one of the newest shirts out on the line, and I'm
yeah.
glad that
Matter of
I was
fact, you
able to
own.
sport it.
Matter of fact, you got the second one. That's it.
Wow. So
So,
my
so you special.
question was gonna be for Crystal, and you may be able to answer it as her better half. You may be able to use your spiritual tap into her brain. What inspires, like, where do the sayings come from? Like, where does she get her creativity, or her, like, where does that come from?
Man, I'm gonna be honest because I actually get to live with the creator. You know, the creativity. It should come. You heard a beep beep in there, but I actually get to live with her,
Right.
and she wakes up in the morning, man, and literally pulls out a notebook, and God just starts downloading things to her. Like I be like, okay, girl, it's too early in the morning for all this. Like you giving, he giving you too much right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, but
Right, right.
he's really waking her up in the middle of the night and the heat of the day, and literally just dropping these things on her. As a matter of fact, look, I'm gonna do this for you. She gonna come tell you herself. Come on, hurry up. You don't got all night. He gonna ask the question for you. Here you go. Here she go right here. Come on, squat on down. Don't fall trying to squat down, Lord. Look at that.
Oh my God. Hey y'all.
Crystal, what's up?
Yeah.
And so
Oh Lord, it's loud.
basically we're having the conversation tonight. I was telling everybody that's watching that, like, if y'all need some shirts made or to go visit her shirt line. I never said it was, but you can follow her on Facebook at Truth and Light, and, like, go through all the designs. They got some models there, modeling all of the shirts that they have. But my question um, to Ryan was, but now to you, my shirt says, um, for such a time as this. Even with all of the things that you have and all of the different things, like, how do you tap into your creative side? Like, where does it come from? Where do you get all of this from?
Oh man. It's like a variety of things. Like when I first said that I really like I'm going after this and I felt like God said, yes, do it, it would be like I'm sitting in church and like Superintendent Thomas is preaching the gospel or he just read a scripture and it's like, bam, I'll either words like from a scripture will either just kind of like rise up off the page to me, or
Hmm.
there's been moments where I'm asleep and God is like, hey, I want you to put that on a shirt, and he'll
That's the
show
one.
me.
That's the ones that wake up in the middle of the night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And or I'm like, just I think it was the for such a either for such a time as this, or um man, it's a new one I had. But anyway, I was just sitting at the desk, and then he said something, and I would be like, "What?" And then next thing you know, just it's just simple, and he just start speaking to me about it, and I'm like, man, okay. And then once I kind of like start talking to the Lord about it, and it's really like stirring in my spirit, then sometimes I just see it, like I just see it on the shirt, and I just go after it. And that's how it comes. It's either in worship, a scripture, or I'm just sitting down. I could be making other shirts, or all throughout the day, I'm kind of just talking to him,
Yeah.
and it'll just come. Or sometimes I'm just talking, and in conversation, somebody be like, "You need to put that on a shirt."
Right,
And I'm like,
right.
"Oh, I guess that is pretty good," But it's just in moments like that.
That's what's up. I mean, so that basically describes your relationship with him,
Come on.
and just kind of, especially in this time now, like we all shut in. To commune with, during this time. So that's wonderful. So I just wanted to say that. So if y'all need some shirts made, or want some uh, inspirational sayings or some scripture related sayings, you can visit Crystal Piper on Facebook at Truth and Light. Um, and go shopping. You can shop online and do all of that stuff there. So it's one of them. Last question, Chris. I'm gonna let you describe your experience from tonight.
Oh, yes, you don't hit that. Go ahead.
I would have to say that it was raw. It was raw.
Mm,
Um, I didn't know the testimony either,
yeah.
behind that song, but I know everybody was talking about a shift, but it's true. I know
Hmm.
that maybe sound like a cliche word, but it was true,
Hmm.
because that's real for so many of us. Some of us may not have had a revolver and a pen in our hand,
Right.
but we had some thoughts.
Oh
Some of
yeah.
us may
Oh
have
yeah.
had suicidal thoughts. Some of us may have had, like, I give up. I can't do this Jesus thing anymore. But once he told that testimony, and I'm not saying like the other songs weren't real
Right. Right.
either,
Right.
but he just kind of brought himself to, and said, "Hey, I'm real. Like, I go through stuff too."
Yeah.
And in that moment, God can give you a word
Yeah.
to literally shift your life, and then help shift other
Ship
people's
somebody.
life.
That's it.
Wow.
That's it.
So I really feel like tonight it was just so raw, so real, and it wasn't rehearsed. It wasn't like I have to make sure I have to
Unscripted.
do this. It was
Yeah.
Yeah.
unscripted, and we went into that place with God where it was like, God, no, really, have your way. Like, I'm not just saying it because that's just what we say. Like he said, we can't just say words. It has to be a meaning. So when
Yeah.
he sang it, I really feel like people on the other end was like, you know what, God, no,
Yeah.
really,
Come
have
on.
your way. Like,
Yeah.
we haven't been in church, we
Yeah.
haven't been gathering.
Yeah.
I'm really figuring out, like, who am I in the Lord? I really need you to have your way, because there's so much stuff going on, and that's when God was like, okay, I'm gonna
So
show
good.
up, because you really want
Hmm.
me. And so it didn't matter where we were. It was just like, have your way, Lord. So that's how I explain. It
Right.
was
Right.
raw, it was real, and it was so needed and just refreshing to be able to sit down and say, man, I was really in the presence. I needed it. So
Right. I mean, and I'm sitting here like I'm going between both of my screens, like just the comments of individuals just
Yeah.
stating how tonight
I
was
saw
was
that.
was
Yeah.
was a blessing. Even in my inbox, I mean, like I'm just like people
mm,
are messaging me like tonight was just like jaw dropping.
yeah.
Um,
Hey,
just like,
real.
like
I was telling Crystal, I don't. People don't even know how this happened. You know what I'm saying? Like it
yeah,
really wasn't supposed to happen this way. You know,
Uh,
like it
no,
really
no,
wasn't. They don't even know that, and the fact that it happened this
no,
way, it's like, come on, man. It's nobody but God. You know. I guess me and you kind of know because
yeah.
we've been talking, but
mm,
you know,
Right, right.
if they knew, it would be like, wow, ain't no way. This has to be
Yeah,
God, you know?
yeah. And tonight of all nights, I mean, because like you said,
Right.
we've been kind of throwing the idea back and forth and like
Yeah.
whatever, and then I mean, just for this to happen tonight and for him to literally um, rest
Yes.
himself
Yeah.
in the middle of a lie,
Yeah.
Where you got
was
that from, boy?
just kind of
Jeez.
it like it just was it was like I was just sitting here just looking like I couldn't believe it,
Yeah.
but like
Man.
he
Yeah.
literally arrested himself
Come on, man.
in the middle of our
Like,
lives,
jeez.
It
God.
is.
like you know,
So this
and this
ain't Facebook ain't the devil.
yeah, we hear
It
all
ain't the
these
devil.
hard things. Yeah, Facebook is the devil and all of this other kind of stuff, but he can rest himself in the middle of a Facebook
Man, come
live.
on.
I
Yes.
mean,
I
hey,
believe
in
it.
the middle of yeah, I mean, it's awesome. So I was sharing with Derek, if this is any indication of what the rest of the week is going to be like I'm really
Good
excited.
start. Yes.
Ooh.
This is a good start. To the rest of the week. This is just a precursor to what's going to take place. So we have an awesome week planned for you all. So all of the information is on Facebook. You can find it there. So tune in, join us for the yes, Dwayne, you're exactly right. He knows exactly what we need for a time such as
Yeah.
this. He's still meeting needs even in the midst of a pandemic. I mean, um, we're still able to do different things. Yes, I know everybody's situation is different. However, it's still a blessing to still be alive.
Yeah. Come on.
Amen.
With everything that's going on.
I love
So
it.
it's an awesome time. So we're excited. We'll be tomorrow in our pre-conference prayer,
Prayer. Yeah.
led by our jurisdictional prelate, the Bishop James W. Proctor. So all of that information is on the Facebook page. You'll be able to do it. But beginning on Wednesday through Friday, you don't want to miss the virtual experience. We might be doing some more pop-ins like this, so just stay tuned to
Uh-oh.
everything that's going on. Um, it's going to be awesome. So we're just excited what the Lord is doing. So thank y'all for taking the opportunity to come be a part of it. Once again, Crystal, thank you. Ryan, thank you for everything. It would not have been possible tonight without y'all. So I appreciate it for
Wow.
everything. Wouldn't have had anything to wear, or we wouldn't even had a live period. So I appreciate it. And looking forward to seeing what's gonna happen for the rest of the week. So we may be talking
Let's
with throughout the rest of the week. So stay tuned. Make sure y'all stay
let's do
engaged.
it.
And we're gonna have an
It's
awesome
gonna be
time.
good.
Oh yeah,
It's gonna be
definitely.
good. I
Looking
believe
for
it's gonna be good.
Yes, yes, I believe it is. So I'm excited about what's gonna happen. So thank y'all for joining. And see y'all in the virtual USAC experience 2020. See y'all on Facebook.
Yes, sir.
Bye.
Deuces.
Bye.